Hi everyone, so welcome back to episode 3 with our podcast with David and Erin, but today I am flying solo. David's on his holidays, but I am joined with the amazing metal monkey Andrea again, and today we're going to have a girly chat, so it's probably best that it's just us two. So we are going to talk all things childbirth and also the power of breath as well. So Andrea, how are you doing today?
I'm doing great. I am really happy that you've asked me here today because I feel so passionate about childbirth and about this subject. I feel like probably about 90% of the people I speak to have had, if not an awful experience with childbirth.
Yeah,
but not a good one.
Yeah.
And I would like to share my birthing story.
I would love to hear about it.
I'd like to share my experience.
Amazing.
Really.
So just to give everyone a bit of background, you've got 3 beautiful boys, haven't you, Andrea? So how old are your kids?
Rafi is 10, Ezra is 8, Eden will soon be 7.
That's the thing.
I've got to think.
When you've got 3, it's like, I've got 3 things to remember here. Yeah. That's amazing. So should we start off with Rafi then?
Just to give you a bit of the background. So when I fell pregnant, and I think it's important to kind of know this, it wasn't the perfect situation. So me and Zen met and literally within 2 weeks I was pregnant.
Wow.
So we didn't have, like a background of like, we didn't have a house, we didn't have anything. So you had that added stress.
Super stressful.
So we literally, it was 2 weeks of knowing each other. So it was
you were literally
fast work.
Figuring each other out whilst being pregnant. That's so
it. It
tough.
Was hard. It was hard, to tell you the truth.
Yeah.
But the birth, so when I fell pregnant, I was 34. And I wasn't the type of person to like who longed for kids.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
Yeah.
So all my mates had babies and I never kind of looked at them and thought, I really want a baby.
Yeah.
So it's quite mad how I've got 3.
You've now got 3. That's crazy, isn't it?
So I fell pregnant at 34. I had just come back from training in India. So I'd spent 6 months in India. So I'd been learning pranayama, ashtanga for that whole time. So I came back uber healthy.
Yeah.
Really in a good place, really. And when I found out I was pregnant, I was 10 and a half weeks. So I was quite far gone, really.
Yeah.
Fast forward the pregnancy. The pregnancy was fine. It was really good. But we're here to talk about the labour. Make sure I don't go off on a tangent.
Let's get into the nitty gritty.
The nitty gritty.
Yes.
So fast forward, 9 months pregnant. I had, first off, I'd just like to say, when I had my first appointments with the midwife, and I think it's really important to share this, I was a hot yoga teacher at the time. I taught hot yoga. And the midwife said to me, don't be going in the hot room, don't be doing yoga, you need to take it easy now and you should be doing this, this and this. And I just thought, that's not right.
No, because that's what you do every day.
Yeah, and up until, so I found out when I was 10 and a half weeks, and up until that point, I'd been in the hot room every day, every single day, and felt really, really good.
Yeah.
So...
And that's unusual to feel so good in your first trimester, by the way.
Really good.
Yeah.
I felt tired, if I'm honest.
Yeah.
But I was in that hot room for, I would say, an hour and a half, 5 days a week.
Wow.
And that's a lot in the early days of pregnancy.
That's amazing, to be honest.
When I found out 10 and a half weeks, the midwife said, not in the hot room, it's bad for you and the baby. But I decided to go against what the midwife had said. So I continued with everything I was doing, which I think is important. I think if you're a personal trainer, Pilates teacher, a yoga teacher, whatever you do, I think it's really important that you should continue with what you're doing.
Yeah.
And also I think it's really important that you've got the level of fitness as well, just because the healthier and the fitter you are, then that will help you in the labour, which is hard work.
Oh, God, definitely.
Hard work. It's a marathon, isn't it?
It is. And also throughout the pregnancy as well, if you're fit, you're going to be able to carry the baby better.
Exactly.
So, yeah.
So fast forward, healthy pregnancy. I continued with hot yoga. I continued with everything I was doing. The contractions, it's still fast forward into the actual birth.
Yeah.
Fast forward, the contractions began, I think it was a Monday night, about 9:30 at night. And I remember thinking, these aren't bad. So
Is this what everyone talks about?
Zen was with me. We were sat in the car and I said, oh God, the contractions have started. I said, these aren't bad. I said, oh, this is going to be dead easy. I said, I'm going to sail through this. And he was like, no, you're not. So we got home and I think it was about 9:30 at night. They began to get worse and worse, which they do.
Yeah.
So I was timing the contractions. By about 1:30 in the morning, the contractions were unbearable. What I thought was unbearable at that point.
Oh, God.
So I called the women's hospital.
Yeah.
And apparently, if you can talk and you can hold a conversation, you're way off.
Oh, God. How terrifying is that? But it was unbearable for you.
So I called up and I said, hi, I said, the contractions are really bad. I need to come in. And the girl on the desk that I spoke to was like, have a paracetamol.
I bet you like that. No.
Have a hot bath.
Yeah.
She said, you can't come in. She said, if you come in, she said, we're just going to tell you to go home. So I was like, right, okay. So this was by this time, 1:30 in the morning. They got worse and worse and worse. And all I can remember is there's no escape because they're coming thick and fast. Yeah. And it gets faster and faster. So there's no escape of these contractions. So Zen came in. He was asleep the whole time, but bearing in mind.
God.
So he'd slept through me climbing the walls. And then he came in and he was like, he said, Andrea, he said, why don't you breathe? He said, you know what you should be doing. I said, I can't handle this then. Yeah. This is like the worst pain I've ever been in. He said, just breathe. And as soon as he said that to me, I was like, oh my God. Oh my God. I know what I should be doing.
Yeah.
So I was in the bed breathing, still in a lot of pain, pulled all the sheets off the bed. I didn't know what I actually didn't know what I was doing. Yeah. I was like pulling all the sheets off.
Yeah.
We used a TENS machine, which massively helped. So the TENS machine is like little electric pulses that you just put on, I think it was on the back, on the base of my spine, and that just helped to take away the pain. So that massively helped.
Amazing.
And I'd highly recommend to use TENS machine. So that helped. It's hard.
It's hard. It's a
hard thing. Yeah, I'm trying to condense it and not bore people.
Oh, I love it.
So TENS machine helped. Focusing on the breath. The contractions were there. Because I'd already called the hospital and they had said, you can't come in. I just thought I've got to grit and bear this,
just
really.
hold on as long as I can.
Had a hot bath. That massively helped as well. And then my cousin who lived next door, she came in the morning. It was about 8:30 in the morning. And she literally took one look at me and she said to Zen, she's about to give birth now. She said, you need to get her into hospital right now. So Zen was like, shit.
Oh my God.
So he put me in the car. By this point, though, I could not talk.
So you knew it was time.
So it was exactly what the midwife had said. Yeah. When you can hold a conversation, you're a long way off with it. This point, I couldn't talk. And all I can remember from the car journey, which was about 20 minutes long, the longest 20 minutes of my life. So you know how you've got a car vent? Yeah, where the air comes out of? I was just...
taking the air in.
Just breathing, trying to do my yogic breathing and just like intense. I couldn't take my eyes off it because the pain is unbearable. Yeah. So I was just concentrating on the breath. He pulled up at the front door and I think he asked me, he said, can you walk? Well, you can't walk at that point. No. So I just went, so we went and got a wheelchair, put me in the wheelchair. All that was like a bit of a blur, really, because the pain was so bad. When we got in, she put me on the bed And she said, oh, she said, you're 8 centimetres.
Wow.
So I was right at the end.
Wow. To
which
do all that
I
at
think
home.
was just such
An achievement.
Because I think if I had gone into hospital and I was like 3 centimetres dilated, 4 centimetres dilated, that's when you get all the machines and the intervention.
And you sit down or you're lying down on the bed.
And things just can kind of go
It sort
the
of
wrong
stalls,
way.
doesn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So at that point there, she said, you can't have anything at all now. She said, you can't have an epidural, you can't
It's
have
too
anything.
late.
So I was like, fine. I said, I just want this baby out. But what she did, and I actually can't understand how they tell you to do this. She said, right, if you get up on the bed, now as soon as you get on the bed, you're on your back.
Yeah.
So you've not got the natural force of gravity to draw the baby out of you.
Yeah.
So as soon as I got on the bed, she was like, right, fast, get the baby's going to come. And then as soon as I got on the bed, everything slowed down.
Wow, immediately. It just shows.
Immediately. So I was lying on the bed. This is a little bit disgusting, but
I love
thought
it.
we'll just
We like all the gory details.
We'll share everything.
We're all friends in
so
here.
things are coming out all ends, aren't they?
Yes.
So
it's not attractive. Let's just say
So I
that.
had Zen in the room and also my mum at this point.
Yeah.
So my mum was holding a scarf. It smelled of perfume because the smell in the room was so
horrific.
So my mum was like,
Not one bit of pride is left, is it? You're just like, wow.
And so I think we'd been in there for about 20 minutes and nothing had happened.
Wow.
But the pressure, because you've literally got the head right out, the pressure was unbearable. So I called over the midwife. I said, what have I got to do to get this baby out? She said, you need to get up and walk around. And that was just like, of course I do.
Yeah,
of
that
course
makes
I
sense.
do. Yeah. So I managed to kind of get off the bed because you're like a big elephant at this point. Held on, and I was literally kind of moving my hips from side to side. And within, I'd say about 2 minutes, I felt his head.
Wow.
And
Isn't that crazy? So sudden.
I felt his head come from around by my navel area. I felt it fall.
Wow.
And it was almost like a heavy kind of weight inside my stomach. It was the most surrealist feeling ever.
Yeah.
So because we'd gone there and I was already 8 centimetres, they said you couldn't have any of the gas or anything.
Could you not
else.
even have the gas in there?
I think, I couldn't have anything else. So I was completely compos mentis of what was going on.
Wow.
So as soon as I felt the head, something came over me, and I think it's really important to share this because at the end of the day, we are designed to do this.
Yes,
okay?
that's what our bodies are made for.
We are designed to do this without any of the, any of the intervention. So when I felt his head, I felt this natural kind of, response just to fall on my feet, fall on my feet.
Go on like all fours.
No, I went into a yogi squat. What
of
else?
Course you did.
What else am I going to do? But it was a natural.
Isn't that weird?
Kind of reflex.
Because your body knew what it had to do.
It was a natural reflex. Yeah,
that's
but because
amazing.
I actually felt a bit embarrassed with Zen being in the room and seeing that because it's not the most.
And
so
you were in a new relationship as well. Let's just remember.
It's a very new relationship. We didn't really know each other really.
No?
So I turned into the corner of the room, and it's almost like a natural kind of.
Because
almost like an animal instinct.
Well, sheep do this. I'm into farming. Sheep go and hide. No, I really am into all like animal stuff, country programs with my dad. But they go and hide and give birth on their own because they don't want to be seen. So that's what you've done.
Oh my God. So that's exactly what I did. I turned in the corner of the room, which sounds so weird.
But yeah, it's just
I got
mad,
in a yogi squat and I just pushed. I felt this like urge just to push and push and push and push.
Yeah.
And that part was the most amazing experience.
Just got goosebumps.
I can't even tell you the feeling because I felt like my feet were grounded on the floor. I felt like I knew exactly what I was doing.
Yeah.
I felt like
you were in control as well.
Yeah, I was in control, which was the main thing.
Yeah.
And when his head first appeared, I remember thinking, where is his head? So I put my hand there to feel, and I felt his head.
How incredible is that?
Now, that is the most strangest experience, to feel a head
there coming out of you.
In between your legs. So then once you get the actual head out, which is painful but in a weird kind of way, his head came out. It's almost like a burning. But then when you get to this part, it's like a flutter.
Is it?
Almost like a butterfly's wings. That's the only way I can describe it. And it feels sensational. It's like...
This is amazing.
It's the most amazing feeling.
Wow.
Then he came out and I fell on my bum. And I had this surge of hormone, which is what I know now. But the only way I can describe it, not that I've ever had heroin or anything. You didn't know what I was going to say.
No, I was thinking...
I've never taken drugs like that. But I felt this high like I've never felt ever. And the whole of my body began to shake. And I was like, ooh. My jaw was
that
going.
the adrenaline?
I think it was adrenaline.
And the
I
rush.
think it was hormones. I think it was everything.
Wow.
But I felt that high was like the best high
that you've ever felt.
I've ever had.
Oh, God.
I can't even describe it. And as soon as he came out, I said, I want to do that all again.
Oh, my God.
Exactly those words.
Wow, that's absolutely unbelievable, Andrea. And it's so nice because when you hear about birth, you think, oh, God, it's horrific, it's this, it's that, you know. And for someone who's pregnant, hearing about all these horror stories, because I found when I was pregnant, everyone just loved telling me all the horrible things. And it's
People do.
I'm like, oh my God, give me a break. I've got to do it myself soon. Leave me alone.
It's
but
very hard. I think you don't hear enough of the positive stories.
So this is why I'm just like, this has made my day hearing your amazing story, because this is what we want to do. We want to empower women, that the power of the breath. Like, you knew how to breathe. You're a yoga teacher anyway, but just someone reminding you to breathe and listening to your own body.
You need that reminding.
Yeah, you do.
Because it's hard when you're in the mix of things.
Yeah.
The pain takes over.
And that's all you can think about, isn't it? Just that excruciating pain and nothing else even comes into your head.
And I think you've got to remind yourself that we are designed to do this at the end of the day. And you know exactly what you're doing.
Yeah.
First time around, maybe not.
Yeah.
But I do think you have a natural kind of
it's like an instinct, isn't it?
Takes over.
Yeah.
Yeah. And if you go with the flow, then...
Go with the flow. I like that motto.
Then you get the good.
Yeah. And it's so true, isn't it? Because once you start to relax, and can't really compare it to the ice bath, but when you're in that ice bath and you're all tense and you can't let go and you're full attention, that's when you can't stay in there.
It's exactly the same thing, Erin.
And you get that pain, you can't breathe, you can't relax because you're just so tense.
You've got to have the focus.
The focus, yeah.
Which I know is easier said than done.
Yeah.
And I think a big thing is say if you're a new mum who's watching this, or you're expecting your baby, it's your first baby, if you can have as long as you can at home, not in that kind of hospital, the lights, the machines, all the people kind of running around, it's not a natural...
No. What is the hormone called? What's it called? Oxytocin. Yeah. So they say, don't they, like oxytocin, you're going to get more of it at home in a comfortable environment.
Yeah.
Having like the fairy lights on or a nice bath, a candle on, stuff like that, which you're not really going to get in a medical environment.
Exactly.
So I completely agree. So just to basically touch on my birth story, I wanted to bring mine into it as well, because mine is the complete opposite of yours.
Yeah.
And I think since having my little boy Freddie, I've heard of so many mums who've been in the same situation as me. And now, because I want another baby in the future, how I would approach it differently. So just to give you a little bit of background, I had a great pregnancy, I flew through it really. Everything was really well. Didn't really have much morning sickness. But once I got to 36 weeks pregnant, by the way, I wasn't a Pilates teacher at the time. So I've always been fit and healthy and exercise. But once I got to about 7 months, I just stopped exercising, didn't do a thing, sat on the couch, ate chippies every night, piled the weight on, felt horrific. So anyway, from, as a lot of people do, but from about 36 weeks, when you start going in to get them regular checks, they were doing me blood pressure and they said I had pregnancy-related hypertension, which is high blood pressure. So they were monitoring me. And then I remember at the time, I was thinking, you're just so ready to get the baby out at that point, aren't you? First time, Mum, I was like, just anything, get the baby out. So they said to me, we're going to either induce you or have a planned section, because the only way to get this blood pressure down is to get the baby out, because it's high blood pressure related through pregnancy.
Right.
So in my head, I was like, great, let's just get the induction, get the baby out, get the blood pressure down. Because I think as well, when it's your first baby, you cling on to every word that the medical experts
100%.
tell you. So I'm then panicking and I'm thinking, God, have I got high blood pressure? Because I'm constantly worrying about what could be going wrong. Or, you know, you get that white robe syndrome where you panic because you've got the blood thing on and you start really like panicking. So anyway, I got induced, I think I was 38 or 39 weeks pregnant. And looking back, my bump was dead high. He hadn't dropped at all. Like, I don't think he was ready at all. So anyway, I went in and I had a pessary. It's like something that they put inside you. And they were like, you can't go home now. Normally they would let people go home with that in and it would come out naturally. But because I had the high blood pressure, I was on the monitors continuously. So I think I went in on the Tuesday, had the pessary, nothing happened. I was just sat there. I had a few like period pains, but nothing major. And then it took like 2 full days to get onto the delivery suite. So we were just sat in there, wasn't allowed to go home. My husband, Jamie, was sat in that chair moaning about his bad back. And I was like, oh my God, seriously.
I feel.
So it was just horrible. We were all just waiting in there like on a conveyor belt ready to go over into the delivery suite. The staff in the women's were unbelievable. I've got to say they were unbelievable, but it was just a slog. I was just so tired. Everything felt miserable. Didn't feel any sort of joy like what you did. Got onto the delivery suite and then I got put onto the hormone drip. So the hormone drip gets, you know, injected into you and it basically brings on contractions. So I was then having back-to-back contractions, like what you said when you said earlier about not getting a break. That happened to me. So I got an epidural. Well, I had morphine first, but then that I just reacted terrible to that. Was projectile vomiting everywhere, couldn't speak, couldn't open my eyes. It was horrible. Then I had an epidural because I was like, I can't have that again. That was horrific. The epidural worked for a few hours, then it failed. So you get like
and
this...
that's not nice. It's an injection in your spine, isn't it?
It was just all just miserable, horrible. So then you get like this button that you can press to keep pumping the stuff into your back to keep it in norm. So I kept pressing it and nothing was happening. So the surgeon or whoever came in again, done it again, and anyway, it failed. I didn't realise this. I thought you got an epidural
and it was
done. And then at least you can relax and forget about the pain. But apparently it's quite common. It doesn't always work. So I had 2. Freddie was back to back, felt every ounce of pain, and I just had the gas in air. It was horrific. So I just had the gas in air, which was an absolute godsend, honestly.
And did that help with the pain?
It did, because it was that focus. So what you've just said about the breathing, because you're like inhaling it and exhaling it, it was like, I don't even know whether it was good for pain relief or just for me focus. But I loved it. So I had Jamie holding on to me right thigh like that. He had to dig it. I was going, dig your hand in as hard as you can. He had to hold the gas in air because I was that weak. I was just like, I can't do anything. And I'd say, keep concentrating. Because if he'd look up at a nurse and like he'd move the gas, I'd go, concentrate. Like I was like a maniac. Anyway, so I got to 9 centimetres through all this. And then the nurses came in and they were like, Erin, I hate to tell you, but I think you're going to have an emergency section.
See, after going through all of that.
Literally.
It's like...
It's like, what was all that for? So I think I'd been in there 4 days at this point. So I was knackered.
Exhausted.
Yeah. I was over it. I was just crying my eyes out. I was like, I don't want a section. I've done all this. I've got 1 centimetre to go. Can we leave it a bit longer?
Yeah.
And she was like, yeah, that's fine. So she left me to it. And then I think like half an hour later, I said, Mum, go and get them. I can't do this no more.
Yeah.
So anyway.
And that's understandable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because that pain is just like something that I can't even describe it.
I know.
Yeah, it's just wild, isn't it?
Yeah.
So anyway, they said, look, we're going to take you down to theatre. We're happy that you need a section. She said, we'll try you with the forceps when we get there. So they said to me, you can't have that gas in here while you're going down to theatre. And I was like, what am I going to do? I literally went into panic mode. I was like, I need that. It's not even doing any in pain, but it's for the focus. So anyway, I couldn't have it. I got to theatre and I had a spinal block then. So I'd already had 2 epidurals and then a spinal block. So it was just a lot for my poor body to go through. But it was just instant relief when I had that spinal block. So I think you're numb.
I think after all of that, I think
you're just
you
at this point.
And you're exhausted as well, so you've not got the energy to push.
No.
Even if you could.
No. So I had the spinal block and then they said they tried with the forceps, but they said my pelvis wouldn't open wide enough.
Right.
So he'd got stuck. They tried to get him out, but I think he was like on an angle and my pelvis wouldn't open wide enough. And it's only now that I think, no wonder, because I was sat in there for like 4 or 5 days on my back, not moving. I hadn't moved for the last few months of my pregnancy. No one had told me to walk around, and it's just like...
Movement is massive when you're pregnant. Yeah. And I think a lot of women, as nice as it is to eat the chippies and the Maltese... Yeah. I ate Maltesers every day. With my first day, I was on the couch watching. But you've got to have that movement. It's key.
Yeah.
And when you go in...
Yeah.
So apparently in Europe, I'm not sure on the country, what countries, but they have something called the birthing chair. So they don't have beds.
Wow.
It's such the wrong position, isn't it?
And it's so outdated, isn't it?
I just don't understand why they put people in a bed.
Yeah.
Because it just does not make sense.
No. It's like you wouldn't have a poo lying down, would you?
Exactly.
Do you know what I mean? I know that sounds horrible.
That's what I always say to people. It just wouldn't come out.
You just wouldn't.
Yeah, you wouldn't be able to push it.
No.
Yeah, but it's called the birthing chair. So a friend of mine had her baby. What country? I can't remember what country it was now. Yeah, but they put her in a birthing chair.
Oh, that's
and
amazing.
The baby I think they had like a hole in the base of the chair, and that's how the baby came out. And she said it was great.
Maybe that's something we need to suggest to the NHS. Get them birthing chairs over here. So I ended up having a section, so an emergency section, which... Again, the staff in there were unbelievable. Yeah. They looked after me, second to none.
Yeah.
But then you've got the whole rigmarole of you've had major surgery.
Major, yeah.
I think, is it like 7 or 9 layers of muscle they have to cut through for a C-section again, which you don't really know about. Yeah. You're just being cut open. You've got this new baby. Your life's completely turned upside down. Your hormones are everywhere.
Yeah.
And your fella then has to go home and you're just left.
And he's got to,
on your own with the baby. So it was quite traumatic, and I think I didn't process it for a while. And I think, so my husband, he's self-employed, so we only took a week off, and most of that week was in the hospital. So I felt quite traumatised, and I had a lot of anxiety after giving birth, and I think it all really stemmed from my birthing experience.
Yeah.
So, yes. So it's just mad, isn't it, how you can have
How do you feel now after having the chats that we've had? How do you feel now if you were to have another baby?
So
do you feel a bit more empowered?
I feel totally empowered. So my first conversation with my best mate Lydia is, I am never doing that again. I'm having a planned C-section for my next one because I'm not going through all that to get a C-section anyway. The same happened with my sister. So she had a planned section for her second. And I remember I come to yours for my first ever one-to-one. It was in September last year. And you got me into all the gorgeous positions that you make me do. And I remember you saying, God, your hip mobility is really good. You know, a baby would fly out of you. And I was like, well, actually, it's quite the opposite. Yeah. And it's like, you just that one sentence that you said to me that probably never even.
I think it's the confidence, and I think
Yeah.
it's to not put your hands as excellent as the NHS and the women's and all of that is. You're in control of your own body.
Yes. Yes.
And I think when you have a baby, if you take that control yourself, you will have an amazing experience.
I completely agree, Andrea. And I think I've gone from the mindset of I'm 100% having a C-section planned to now thinking, no, I'm going to give it a go. I can do it.
Yeah.
And like, especially second time round, your body's more...
Second time around is a totally different ball game. I think first time, everything's...
new. And it's
tight.
tighter.
It's never done it before.
Yeah.
So it's that's why the contractions feel horrendous. Everything just like it's got to do it for like the first time. When you have your next baby, how old is your little boy now? 3?
He'll be 3 on Saturday, yeah.
So it's not a long time, is it? So when you have your next baby, whenever that may be,
oh God,
you know what you're doing.
Yeah.
So you know what the contractions feel like. So you're a lot more prepared for it, I think.
And I think now that I do Pilates every day and I do like the lateral breathing technique, I'm like, I know what I'm doing.
It.
Yeah, and I actually feel more excited about it, whereas I was filled with
that's
dread.
What it should be.
Yeah, yeah.
I think with the girls I speak to, a lot of girls I speak to, hardly anyone has that feeling of, oh God, I'm going to give birth. It's dead exciting.
No.
It's all, I think a lot of them are like, I'm scared.
I think people see it as quite a negative, although it's amazing that you're going to meet your baby.
Yeah.
Where it's drummed into us that it's going to be horrific. And we want to, you know, let people know that it can be amazing. Like that was the best day of your life, really, wasn't it?
100%.
You've never felt better than when
I've never had a high. I've never had a high like that before.
Yeah.
Yeah, when I had my second, because his was fast. So normally with the second, not all the time, every birth is completely different. But because you know what you're doing, second time, it was only 2 years after Rafi, so not really a long time. The contractions came. I had him in Manchester. We were in the hospital and I was on a bouncy ball. And the contractions at this point were about 5 minutes apart. And I just remember I was having a conversation and I felt the head
from the navel
drop.
Yeah.
But this time the pain literally went from 0 to 1,000.
Oh God.
And his head was there and had to push.
Wow.
So he came within half an hour. So it was super fast.
But just going back to that conversation where the midwife said to you, if you can talk, you're not ready. That's not right, is it?
Well, that's different. But I think it's because it's your
seconds.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you know what you're doing.
But,
you're not the... Yeah, you know what you're doing.
Yeah.
You've been there before.
But I just think as well, like, we take everything that a medical expert says as gospel, and it's like, I can't go into the hospital because I can have a conversation, but it's like every birth is completely different. So how can we just paint everyone with the same paintbrush? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So what's your second?
Ezra.
So Ezra came really quickly then.
We went into hospital. They put me in the room. The contractions were about 5 minutes apart. And I remember I looked at the clock. So he was born at 9:45. I remember probably about 9:25. I remember thinking, I'm on this ball. And I just remember I went, and Zen started laughing because the pain, it just came from nowhere.
Yeah.
And he was born within about 25 minutes, half an hour.
Wow, that's amazing.
Like, it was fast.
Yeah.
And I had him. So I was on the bouncy ball, and as soon as I felt the head, I felt like I needed to turn myself around. So again, it was like
for
a
the
natural...
sheep moment.
For the sheep moment. So this time I got on the bed and got on all fours on the bed.
Right.
And he came out all fours.
Wow, I love that.
So it was a different position, but still that kind of...
The gravity did its thing.
The gravity would pulled him out. Yeah.
Obviously, I had the pains of the contractions, but I've never had the pain of actually giving birth vaginally, should we say? Because I know people get,
hate
but
that word.
I know it's not a nice word, is it? Vaginal birth, but I know people think about natural.
Yeah,
people don't like that, do they? Which
Yeah.
I completely get. That every birth is natural. So once the pain went from 0 to 1,000. Once you've give birth, what happens? Are you still in pain, or do you just? What happens?
This is really important to share this as well. So no one told me this. When you actually have your baby, then you've got to get the placenta out.
Oh, yes.
No one tells you that.
No.
No midwife tells
No.
you.
You think
Like,
you're done?
it's not read anywhere. Like, I never saw it anywhere.
Yeah.
So as soon as the first one came out, the
actual baby,
the first baby came out, I thought I was done.
Right,
So
okay.
I was on the floor, I was holding my baby. Yeah, they cut the cord and all that. But then you've literally got to give birth
go again.
to a placenta, which can be massive.
Right,
It can be really, really big.
Yeah.
So then you've got to get that out. You can get an injection, which helps to release it. I can't think what the injection's called now.
Yeah, I remember this, the injection in the leg.
But the injection's in the leg.
Yeah.
And that just helps to release your placenta, and then that comes out. But that's like a big old thing.
Because that's what the baby's secured in.
Off.
Yeah. Is it?
So that's what so I'll tell you what I did with my placenta.
Oh God, you better probably, didn't you?
Yeah.
I knew you were going to say
so
that.
My best friend, her husband's a chef. So he came in. So you can order all your placenta pills and things that, and a girl comes and picks them up, and she puts them into lovely little capsules in a lovely little. What
did you have? Chef special.
A friend's husband came. Who's
Steak
a chef.
and placenta.
He came. He picked it up. He said it was still warm.
Oh, don't.
So the hospital put the placenta in a hazardous waste bag.
In a big yellow bag.
Don't go near.
Yeah.
He took it home. He chopped it up. We've got pictures. He chopped it all up. So it's like a piece of liver. It's like...
Yeah, it's meaty.
It's meaty.
Yeah.
He chopped it all up and he put it into little compartments with some ginger and some... People are going to be watching this thinking, bloody hell, some ginger and some berries. And then every day we put it in the freezer. And then every day I used to add it into a smoothie. And so it was like a placenta smoothie.
Wow, I love that. Because what are the health benefits of eating a placenta?
Well, it's supposed to replace all of your lost, so all of the iron, things like that.
Amazing. Could you taste the placenta in the smoothie?
You couldn't taste the placenta. And Zen had some, he had some every day. He thought, if she's going to get all healthy, I want to try a bit too.
Yeah.
So you couldn't, I think because of the ginger, that just completely took away the taste of the placenta.
That is hilarious.
And then we've also got the cords. So you know the umbilical cord? Yeah. So we've done them in the shape of the first letter of the name. So we've got each one in a picture.
That's gorgeous.
Do you think?
Yeah.
Some people think it's a bit weird.
Oh, no, I like that. I don't even know where Freddie's is. Sorry, Freddie, if you're ever going to watch this. You're like
you'll have to do it again.
Yeah. Definitely with baby number 2. So what about Eden then? We can't forget lovely Eden, because I think I know this story.
So this is a different one altogether. So third time around, this was the third one in 3 years. So it's like...
There was no hanging about with you and Zen, was there?
He looks at me or he sneezes on me and I get
you're pregnant.
And I get pregnant. That's how... but Eden, so he was the third one. Rafi was 2. Hang on.
No, Rafi was 1.
3.
Oh.
No. Raf was 3. Ezra was 9 months.
How age?
1. And then I was having Eden. So they were like...
Wow.
They were like
back to
tiny
back.
babies, really.
How did you get through that?
I don't know. I actually don't know. It's like a blur now, to tell you the truth. But when I was pregnant with Eden, he came out the blue again. It was another surprise. It was
Zen sneezed again.
He sneezed on me, and then I got pregnant. I had planned to take 10 of my students to India, but not just like normal India. It was way down in Bangalore. So it was like a big kind of expedition. Found out I was pregnant, and I thought, be able to go pregnant.
Yeah.
So I got a letter off my doctor because I was 7 months pregnant.
Oh, because you'd have to get a letter to fit to fly, isn't it? Yeah.
So I got that off my doctor. I said, it's my third baby. I'm absolutely fine. I took 10 students there. The flight alone was a 6-hour flight to Dubai, then a 5-hour flight from Dubai to Bangalore, and then a 4-hour car journey. So it's
my goodness.
It was a long journey.
At
Anyway,
7 months pregnant as well.
7 months pregnant, I was fine. Took the students over, but I think it's important to talk about your ego here because I thought,
I know what I'm doing. I've got this.
So all of the students were doing all these like advanced postures, back bending, and I was just looking and longingly wanting to take part, but I've got this big baby bump and I thought, I can do all this. I've done it before. So I took part in a lot of the classes.
Yeah.
Felt great. I felt uber healthy. I felt so good. We'd been there, we were there for 2 weeks. Coming towards the end of the 2 weeks, something happened. I think so. To the day now, no one knows what was going on in there, but I think I had done a back bend and I had pulled something at the front part of my abdomen. I actually felt like a pop.
Oh, God.
So I got rushed to hospital in India.
God, that must have been scary.
Really scary, really scary. So they had an ambulance, which was like it was like, have you seen the transit vans?
Yeah.
With just like a red cross on. So they bungled me into like a transit van.
Oh, God.
Whizzed through the streets of Mysore.
No.
I mean, anyway, we got in there. They put me on a heart monitor. The baby was okay. So at this point, I would have been 42 is full term, isn't it?
Yeah. 40?
Is it 40?
I think it's
40
40
is full term.
And then 42 is
Right,
2
okay.
weeks
So
over.
I was about 34 weeks.
Right.
So they put me on a heart monitor. Everything was fine, but they couldn't explain why I had the bleed. I was bleeding a lot.
Oh, right, okay.
Yeah.
Did they say anything about your stomach where you felt the pop? Did they know what that was?
No.
No.
So they left me in hospital and they said, so I was due to fly home 2 days later.
Oh, God.
And they said, you can't fly home. There's just no way.
Andrea.
So bearing in mind, I had Rafi, who was only 2. Ezra was 1 and a bit at home in England, and I'm in India.
And you haven't got your partner there who you need. You need that support, don't you?
Long story short, I can't believe I'm sharing this because people are going to be watching thinking, what a stupid girl.
No.
I checked myself out of hospital.
Yeah.
And flew home. So without a fit to fly, I just thought, I just need to get home.
Yeah.
I need to get home to my husband, my family,
Yeah.
and just have this baby at home.
Yeah.
So I bled the whole way
Oh,
from
my God.
the airport. So it was a 4-hour car journey from the place to the airport, 5 hours, and then another 7 hours. And
was it
horrific.
like heavy blood as well?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So when I got to Manchester Airport, my mum and dad came to pick me up at the airport and they took me straight into Ormskirk Hospital. And I was 4 centimetres dilated off the plane.
Wow. So was you having contractions whilst you was flying as well? Or?
So the students that came with me, they were all on pins because they thought...
What are we going to do?
One of them, her daughter was a midwife, so she had talked with her daughter and she said, she actually said, make sure you've got a plastic bag just in case anything happens on the aircraft.
Oh, my God.
But I was just calm on the aircraft.
Yeah.
So again, it's the breath work.
Yeah. It goes back to the power of the breath, doesn't it?
I literally just was calm the whole of the way home. I breathed, I meditated. And then as soon as we got on home ground.
That's when you could be like, oh. Yeah. Wow, Andrea.
And then we got into hospital and then the surgeon examined me, 4 centimetres dilated. They kept me in the hospital. And then he was born. So I was in hospital for 2 days before he was born. So again, it's not the nice environment. I was in Ormskirk with this one. So not the kind of nicest of environment. You're in hospital, it's uncomfy. The food, the beds, it's not the best. And after 2 days, they said that the baby was losing weight, hadn't
developed
grown.
Yeah.
So they decided they were going to induce me. And they induced me the same as you. So I had the drip in the arm. They gave me a sweep. Yeah. Which is not very nice.
Yeah, I had a few of them. I forgot to mention that. I had a few sweeps.
It's painful. Is it like they get their hand and just
the
literally
rim.
go like...
I think I had the whole fist in there when I was like, oh my God.
Around the rim. That's it. It's not really nice. Bloody painful.
Yeah.
So we filmed Eden's birth just because I just wanted to capture it on camera. So this time around in his birth, we had my sister, because she'd never seen a baby get born before. And I'd already had my mum a couple of times. My mum had to look after him, the other two at this point.
Oh, God, yeah.
So I had my sister. She turned up at the hospital with a miniature bottle of wine, pork pies.
Oh, she sounds amazing.
She felt like she was going to watch a show.
Oh, were they just for her?
Yeah, they were for her, not for me.
I was like, what a sister, eh?
No, she brought some snacks because she wanted to watch the show.
Got the popcorn.
Yeah. So I had my sister.
That's
I had
so
Zen.
funny.
We had the camera on the tripod.
I think I would do that, you know.
Yeah.
No one else has to watch it,
And then we had music on it. It was all very nice and it was all relaxed. It was completely different to the other two births. So I'd been in hospital for 2 days. I'd come off this long flight from India.
Thank God you wasn't in India, though.
We were in the room. They induced me. I was on the drip, had the sweep. This was a Friday night and they'd induced me at about 5 o'clock, but it'd taken from 5 o'clock till 9 o'clock-ish. So it was a long time.
That's a long
waiting.
Time. Yeah.
But he was only not 7 months at this point. He was born at 37 weeks.
Okay.
So he was like, what, 3
weeks early. So it's not too much, is it?
So the sweep happened, the music was on, but it seemed to take a long time. So again, I had to think, you've got to move around, you've got to walk around. But I will tell you a funny story about this. So because we'd been in India, I'd been on the long flight, I hadn't actually been to the toilet. Yeah. For like a while.
Yes.
I think a good week.
Oh, a good week?
And this is with Indian food and So
right.
I hadn't been for number 2.
You were bunged up. No.
I was very bunged up.
Yes.
So things get moving when you have a baby, don't they? Like everything. So at some point when we were in the room with my sister with her pork pies and her little miniature glass of wine and stuff, and Zen, I was like, oh my God. I said, I think I need
Oh my God, the poor people in that room if you hadn't been for a week.
So the midwife wasn't in the room. So Zen was like, what shall I do? What shall I do? So he was looking around the room for something. So you know those cardboard trays that they use?
What you'd be sick
I don't know if it's, yeah. So I'm standing on all foot. The only thing I can compare it to, have you ever been to Chester Zoo?
Yes.
Have you seen the elephants?
Yeah.
When they poo?
Yeah.
They just stand and it just drops out their bum.
Was that you?
That was me.
So I was just like a cow pat.
Oh my God. Zen said it was like 5 kgs of poo. So much so. He filled one tray and then my sister had to pass him another and
hilarious.
another. We filled 3 cardboard trays.
That is hilarious.
And the smell was So this is Eden's birth.
This is so funny. So did things get moving after that?
Well, Zen was on all fours crying with laughter. And at the same time, he was retching with the smell. It was like something from a comedy sketch. So anyway, that happened. And then very shortly after that, then Eden came. And he was a bit awkward. He was only £5'6".
Oh,
so
he was teeny
tiny. So apparently the heavier the baby, the easier it is to come out with gravity. Yeah. So he was tiny. Oh. So I was on all fours again with that, but I was kind of hanging over the bed. And then he came out. But because by this point, it's like you're shelling peas.
Yeah.
By this point.
Yeah.
So I had him. He was tiny. And then we did all the skin on skin and everything. And then I got in the shower, had a shower, washed my hair, and then went to sleep.
Oh, my God.
Because I knew I wasn't going to get that sleep again.
No. Yeah, that's the next thing, isn't it?
Yeah.
God, that's amazing.
So you must have been so different. It was a totally different.
Well, I think my birthing story's so boring now.
Eden's was a totally different kettle of fish, but
Wow, it's just honestly so inspiring to hear all them birthing stories though, and how every experience just being so different.
so different.
Yeah. But it's
I think
amazing,
what the
isn't
common
it?
thing is, I think you've got to go with the flow of it. I think you've got to trust you know what you're doing
Yeah.
and your own body.
Yeah.
And you've got to go with your breath.
Yeah.
I think that's so important.
Breathe. Just breathe.
And not be lying down on a bed.
Yes.
I think that is just the worst thing you can do.
I think as well, people don't they, all the time, you'll have that mother's instinct. And I remember thinking, but what if I don't? Like, what if I don't know what to do?
Yeah.
But it is weird. Something does come over you, but it goes
Animal
back to
instinct.
Yeah, animal instinct.
The sheep.
We're made to do it. We can do it. And just having that confidence in yourself and trusting your own gut and your own intuition.
Yeah.
So I love it.
Can I say one more thing?
Of course you can.
So the aftercare after you've had a baby.
Yes.
So I remember I read somewhere that I think it's in Asia they do this. As soon as you've had a baby, they get a very tight, almost like a bandage, and they wrap you up
Right,
to help to knit all the muscles back.
Yes, because
So
everything's been so stretched.
Yeah. And I remember I read that and I thought, God, that's great. I'm going to do that. So after all the births, I got a bandage.
Right.
And wrapped up my belly immediately afterwards. And I think that massively helps with recovery.
I will be doing that next time. Because it's funny, isn't it? Because I remember when I first started getting the bump, I remember like trying to suck my belly in.
Yeah.
Because we're so used to, oh God, if we feel
Holding
bloated, suck it all in. So
Yeah.
it's funny, isn't it? You just get used to being like relaxed and everything's
And it's a lovely
loose.
it is a lovely feeling.
It's nice, isn't it? When you're like, I don't have to breathe in anymore.
Yeah.
But you get so used to being like that, trying to then get that core strength back again. And especially for anyone who has a C-section as well, that was something I found really, really hard. I struggled. I had no core strength whatsoever.
Yeah.
So going into Pilates really helped.
Pilates is the best thing after having a baby. I actually think it should be almost like compulsory
like a
advice
rehab.
that every mum should do it.
Yeah.
I think it helps so much.
It does.
So when I had Rafi, there was no one around who taught reform. There was only one person who owns the physiotherapy centre.
Yes.
So she had reformers there, but there was nowhere else to go.
No.
So I used to drive, God, I think it was almost an hour.
Wow.
Yeah, just to do the classes with her.
Oh, that's amazing.
But I think it's so good after you've had a baby.
I think as well, Pilates is amazing because not only about all the core, exercises that we do, it's a low impact style of movement as well. Yeah. So for me personally, I didn't want to be going and lifting heavy weights or doing HIIT classes.
It's the worst thing you can do, I think.
I think your body is quite vulnerable after having a child, whether you've, give birth either way, like whatever, if you are vulnerable. So for me as well with the Pilates, it's that mind-body connection. It's your time to zone out. You can't think about anything else. You can't think about them knife feeds. You're just thinking about you. And I think as well when you're postpartum, you feel, for me personally, I just felt like I was a mum. I wasn't Erin anymore.
Yeah.
I felt like I lost my identity. I was just mum, that's it. And I'm past it now. This is me. Which it was the best thing ever being a mum. But I was like, wow, I've lost my confidence. Everything has sort of dipped.
Yeah.
And I think from doing Pilates and getting that strength back and just feeling like me again, it just helps massively.
Yeah.
And someone said to me, it takes 2 years to feel like you again after the baby. And I think that is so true.
I believe that. Yeah.
It is
I do
so
as well.
true.
And with each one, I think it's a little bit harder and a little bit longer to tell you the truth.
Because your body's got more to try and recover from.
So I took 4 years off after Eden.
Yeah.
I think after all that ordeal in India, it completely knocked me.
That was quite traumatising.
And I had 3 young babies.
Yeah.
So I just had the 4 years off completely with them. That was the best thing I ever did.
So what did you do training-wise after Eden? Did you do no training at all or just your own practice?
After all of the babies, I did Pilates reformer after every single one.
Yes.
And I did it for about a course. So I probably did it for about 3 months, I'd say. And then I went on to mat Pilates.
Yes.
And I did that for a while. But now I continue to do my mat Pilates all the time. I think it's essential. I think when you've had a baby, I think it should just be part of your routine. I didn't do anything in a gym, nothing until with Eden. I probably didn't go back to a gym till about like a good 6 months or something. I didn't feel like I wanted to.
I was the same.
Yeah.
Your body's
It's
been
just not
through
that
so
important
much.
to me. Yeah, I was just happy just being at home, eating biscuits and drinking tea. It was lovely. It was like the happiest time of my life.
Yeah, I was saying to someone yesterday, I remember my mum come round, I think Freddie was about 2 months old, and I think it was like 9 a.m. in the morning. It's been up since about 4.
Yeah.
And she was like, "Are you all right, Erin?" And I was like, yeah, I'm fine. She walked in, I was eating curly fries with salt and pepper seasoning all over. It was 9 a.m. and I was like, oh my God, whatever you've got to do to get through the day.
You've just got to do it.
But it's one of them, isn't it? Baby is the number one priority. But I think
Exactly.
it's so important for mums to remember we matter as well.
Definitely.
And yeah, Pilates.
And your core strength is the most important thing. So a lot of the women I teach now, whether they've had their children 6 months ago or 16 years ago, I see they've got a lot of issues with their lower back.
Yes.
And it's because they don't have the core strength.
Yeah.
So it's so important.
I think as well, your posture is majorly affected.
Oh my God.
I had a
get the rounded shoulders, get the hunchback.
On the back of my neck. I was like, oh my goodness.
Because it's this action all the time. You're feeding your baby and you're bending down.
Yeah. And something I've noticed a massive improvement is my posture since doing Pilates and, really strengthening my back and my core. So I really do recommend it. And it's super important as well that you go to someone who's postnatal trained.
Yes.
When you've just given birth so soon after, I think you've got to start with that safe way of training.
So how soon after would you advise someone to go to
So
a class?
we have postnatal Pilates here with our amazing instructor, Rachel. So anyone who's had a natural birth, it's 6 weeks, but it's super important. You've got to have your GP sign off.
Right.
And then anyone who's had a section, it's 8 weeks, again, with the GP sign off.
Yeah.
But then I'd recommend as soon as you're feeling ready to get into it, just get back into it.
Yeah.
And I think as well it's nice because here we have the groups. We've only got 9 mums who we allow on a course because we like it to be nice and personal.
Yeah.
They bring the baby along with them. There's no pressure. You're meeting other like-minded mums. You're in a safe environment. It's amazing. And I think having that little hour to really focus on yourself but be able to bring the baby as well. Yeah. It's needed.
Yeah.
So, recommend Pilates to anyone.
Yeah.
I might be a little bit biased, but it is the best.
Oh, it really, I think after you've had a baby, I think it should be compulsory for every mum.
100%. I completely agree. Well, I've absolutely loved talking all things childbirth with you, Andrea. It's been amazing. Thank you for being so open and honest, talking about all the crap. And everything. I absolutely love it. And I really hope any new mums or anyone expecting a baby listening to this, it's give them that little bit of confidence that we are designed to do this and we can do it once we get out of our heads and into our body and, just having that confidence.
Movement is key and the breath.
Yeah. And trusting your gut instinct as that's the number one priority, isn't it? So amazing. Thank you so much for today. And I'll see you soon.